Hey guys, happy Monday. Thank you so much for hopping on this YouTube live with me today. I really appreciate it. Today's topic that I want to talk about, is starting off the week strong by building momentum and having intention. Intentions, setting great intentions to have an amazing week, right? You don't want every week to be the same. You want to always be evolving. You want to always be growing. You want to always be setting solid intentions for you to have a kick-ass amazing week. Now, how do I set those? How do I set great intentions to have an amazing week? How do I prepare myself and set myself up, to build momentum to set those intentions to have an amazing week? So, first thing I do, you guys, is I always like to reflect a night before. So I'm always reflecting on the night before. So let's say I'm pre-planning Sunday. Sunday night, I take maybe an hour. I put an hour of time aside, and I'm preparing my week. I'm getting myself mentally prepared for the week. Great. I'm self-employed, so I have a calendar, and I have my calendar. I look at my calendar and I say, okay, great. What are the non-negotiables? I call them non-negotiables that are in my calendar that there's no appointments going to come above that. And no matter what happens throughout the day, I'm making sure that I invest time in those non-negotiables. Now, what are some great non-negotiables that you can put inside of your calendar that, I'll make some examples of what are non-negotiables. Non-negotiables in your calendar is not jeopardizing the time that you spend with family. So family is a non-negotiable time slot, right? So inside of your calendar, you're going to put aside like an hour, and that's your non-negotiable time. I have to spend that time with my kids. I have to spend that time with my husband or my boyfriend or my girlfriend, whatever the case may be. That's a non-negotiable. You're not going to put anything in front of that time, spending that time with your family, right? Non-negotiable. What's another non-negotiable is if you like to work out, and that's a routine that you have, you're going to make sure you put in that time slot working out, and that's a non-negotiable. Nothing's going to come in the way of that workout, right? So setting non-negotiables in your calendar are really, really important, you guys. It also helps keep the promises you make to other people and to yourself, right? Another thing that I like to set up inside of my calendar is making sure you're keeping the focus is on the small things, right? The small things that, will build a lot of momentum throughout the week. That, let's say you're having a hard day at work, or let's say you're through your business, you didn't achieve all the things that you wanted to achieve throughout the day for your business, or your business didn't go well that day, right? So keeping the small promises that you made to yourself, right? Let's say small promises. I'm going to work out. I'm going to work out today, and no matter what, I'm going to work out. I'm going to keep that promise that I'm going to work out, right? So that builds a lot of momentum for a lot of people, because you're making sure no matter what, you're getting that workout in. And that's going to build so much momentum, because you kept that promise to yourself, right? And then it feels good that even though if shit hits the fan, if something goes wrong throughout your day, you feel good that you at least did something for yourself. There was an article that I read at one point, and they were talking about how the simplest promise that you make through when you start your day, like let's say they were making the example as making up your bed, that no matter how shitty your day goes, or no matter what happens throughout the day, that you're going to come home to a made up bed, and you're going to feel so proud of yourself that at least you got one thing in, at least one thing went right for you, right? So what I love to do, you guys, is to set up a game plan for self-development for myself in the morning time, right? And everybody can do this, everybody. So like mine is I wake up at 5 a.m. start. And from my 5 a.m. start, I spend time with God. I listen to a sermon. I pray. I do some affirmations. I meditate for a half an hour. And then I read 10 pages of a good book for my mind, to get my mind right. And then I get a half an hour of a really, really good workout in. There you go, right? I already checked off so much things off my calendar, and I already built up that momentum and excitement inside of myself that I kept those promises that I made to myself. And it feels good that no matter what, if I have like 10 canceled appointments or whatever throws my way, whatever life throws at me, I'm prepared for it, and I built that momentum inside of me. And I really feel like if you start your week off right, if you start off Monday right, and you keep those promises that you make to yourself, whether it be working out, whether it be reading that book, whether it be, you're not an entrepreneur, but you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, you get that time in to focus on, finding out more about your business or whatever you want to start up, right? But getting that time in for yourself and keeping the promises that you make to yourself from pre-planning your day ahead of time, right? So it's really important, you guys, that pre-plan ahead of time. You may be a busy parent out there, and especially when you have kids, things get knocked around, and you're all over the place. That's why it's so important, you guys, to pre-plan your night before. It builds up so much momentum inside of you that you pre-plan the night before, and you feel more focused. You feel like you wake up and you feel prepared. That just starts building so much more momentum from pre-planning the night before. Then also now setting up a goal, like a goal for yourself, for having weekly goals. Have a weekly goal that, okay, great. Every day, I'm going to make sure I work out for 10 minutes, half an hour, like whatever your time schedule allows you. Or every day I'm going to wake up at a certain time, and you keep that promise you make to yourself. It builds so much momentum, you guys. It's the littlest promises that you make to yourself is what builds a big momentum to have a massive and amazing week. So no matter what happens or life throws at you, you're mentally prepared and ready because you kept the promises. You did what you could do. You focused on what you can do and not focused on what you can't do by keeping those small little promises you made to yourself and self-reflecting the night before, right? So really important, you guys, if you guys want to start your week off right, you guys, and build momentum to have an amazing week, it really starts with you focusing from Sunday night. From Sunday night, taking that time to reflect on your week, whether this again, it reflects off of everybody, whether you're self-employed or you're working a 9 to 5, it works for everybody, right? Or you're a stay-at-home parent, and you could plan out your week. Everybody has shit to do and they're busy, but at the end of the day, it's taking that time to really organize your mind and organize your week is what's going to help build that momentum to keep more promises you make to yourself, especially when it's pre-planned. You have it inside of your head. Everybody asks me all the time, how the hell do you wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning time? And I'm just like, because I sit down with myself the night before and I pre-plan. I envision how I want my day to go. I envision the outcomes. I envision how good it's going to feel when I accomplish all the promises I make to myself. That alone builds so much momentum because you're just like, yeah, I'm going to have an amazing day tomorrow. I'm going to get a good workout in. I'm going to make sure I read my self-development books. I'm going to get out here on YouTube. I'm going to I have everything pre-planned the night before, envisioning what it is that I want to accomplish for myself. And that's what builds momentum throughout the week, right? Is focusing on what you can focus on, not what you're is out of control for you, right? Because life is always going to throw punches at you guys. Things are always going to pop up. Things are always going to happen, right? But when you could take control of what you can control and focus on that, and keep going and building momentum off of those small little things is what's going to compound and build even bigger momentum, and is not going to stop you mid throughout the week feeling like, oh man, like nothing's going right, like shit, my car broke down, this happened at work, or this client canceled, or whatever. No, you're already going to have a lot of built up momentum inside of you, because you already pre-planned from since Sunday that no matter what, as long as I keep the promises I make to myself, I keep those promises of not messing around with my non-negotiable time slots. That's already building small momentum inside of you to get excited that, okay, great, I'm still having a good week, because I'm getting all the shit that I promised myself I was going to get done for myself, right? So that's what really helped me, you guys, on building momentum, for the week and getting prepared for the week, is pre-planning, you guys, making sure that you're looking over your non-negotiable time slots, making sure you're looking over the promises, the small little promises that you make to yourself, and saying to yourself, I'm already pre-planning inside of my head that I'm going to keep them. And all that little stuff builds momentum, and you get excited for your week because you're looking at your calendar and you're just like, okay, great. I'm going to have an amazing week. I already have everything planned out, and it's going to be amazing because I know I'm going to keep the promises I make to myself throughout the whole week. I have it written down in the paper. So it just comes back down to you guys pre-planning from Sunday night. If you want to have a great week and start off a great Monday, it's pre-planning the night before, really taking the time to envision what do you want the outcomes to be of your week, right? And also getting yourself mentally prepped and mentally prepared that no matter what happens throughout the week, you're just going to make sure that you keep those promises those little small promises that you made to yourself, and keep pushing forward and onward no matter what freaking pops up. You get it in no matter what. There's a lot of people that always say, oh, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. We all have the same times throughout the day. We all can make shit happen if we really want it. Just like how if we really want to watch a show on Netflix, or if we really want to, sit down and play video games, or whatever the case may be that you like to do, that's just binging, we find the time. So it's the same thing as finding the time to put aside that time slot to really take time and reflect and see, okay, great, I had an amazing weekend. I spent a lot of time with family. I need to go mayhem. I need to go hard into my week. I'm going to make sure I get this, that done, and just pre-plan it into a schedule, right? It's so important to have a schedule, you guys. I don't know what else I would do without my schedule, because in my schedule, I have everything, whether it be, being planning out from 5 a.m. in the morning, I'm going to do this, that, a personal development. And then boom, I have training. And then boom, from there on, I have clients all day. And then I have my YouTube channel. Everything is structured, spending time with my daughter, everything is structured into my calendar. So having a calendar, you guys, reflecting the night before is just so important. And remembering, you guys, it's the small little promises that you make that's going to compound into bigger momentum and get you excited, and always reflect as well about your week prior, right? Getting yourself mentally prepared for this week and building momentum for this week is really good to reflect on last week and say, okay, great, what are some areas that I know that I want to work on, that I want to become better in this week? So you get excited to say to yourself, okay, great, I know what I did last week. I know I'm going to double down on it this week, and I'm going to make this week an even better week than last week, right? So that also builds momentum as well, because you already know that, hey, there's some areas that I know that I can work on and I can grow in and I can get better in on certain areas from last week to this week. So that's what really helps me as well, you guys, is just reflect, right? Take the time to build your calendar, keep small little promises you make to yourself on a daily basis. And then just really tell yourself that there's nothing that you can't overcome this week, right? Just mentally taking the time to mentally prepare yourself is just so important. Again, it doesn't matter if you're working a 9-to-5, stay-at-home parent, or, a business owner. I think this reflects off of everybody, right? It's just knowing going into the week, what you want your week, what do you want to accomplish throughout the week? What promises do you want to keep to yourself? How do you want your week to, how do you want your week to turn out? It's just being very intentional, about how you want your week to be, right? And how you want to, overcome some promises that you had made to yourself last week that you didn't keep, and you're gonna now build yourself up to achieve those things this week, right? Because you always want to be growing. You guys always want to be focusing on growth and not staying stagnant. That's why I said it's so important to reflect, because you just don't want to be caught, being stagnant, because then you're not really living. You're not really enjoying life, right? You're just stagnant. So in order for you not to be stagnant, and in order for you to really enjoy life, it's, taking the time to really reflect on yourself and saying, okay, great, what are some areas that I can grow on this week that I didn't grow on last week, right? So that's why it's so important to reflect, you guys. Take the time for yourself on Sundays, and really go through your calendar. If you don't have a calendar, that's a great thing to think about through this video, is say, okay, great, maybe I should set up a calendar. Maybe it would save me a lot of time and energy on just being scattered and all over the place. Maybe I should start pre-planning or reflecting, or really looking at like how I can be better than last week to this week, because I'm not seeing any growth, or I'm getting frustrated through, like, shit, I have to go through this week again. And, last week was horrible. I hope this week, it's just going to help keep your thoughts narrowed in on exactly what it is that you want to accomplish, instead of getting your mind being scattered, thinking about how last week was so shitty. And then, this week you're just like, man, I hope this doesn't happen, or I hope that doesn't happen. No, when you sit down and you reflect, and then now what areas you want to work on this week to be better, then you also come up with a game plan. You're already gonna be so excited to start this week, and see that, okay, great, I'm gonna grow so much this week than I did last week. And that already just builds more momentum for you. So I hope that this video helped you guys in some sort of way, right? These are just tips and tools that I'm using, you guys, that builds me up to have an amazing week, with growth, with my mindset, by keeping myself structured, by keeping the small promises I make to myself. These little tips that I shared with you guys is what helps me to keep my week with me growing, evolving, and getting better and better than how I was the week before, and the week before, and the week before. And then just getting myself excited and pumped up for, Monday, right? Is looking at all these things on a Sunday night. And you guys, I'm so fired up so far, because like, I woke up 5 a.m. I already mentally prepared myself the night before. I was going to work out. I was going to read my affirmations. I was going to pray. I was going to meditate, read 10 pages of a good book, post up on all my social media, work on my social medias, and then boom, 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 have appointments until 7 o'clock. So I'm already fired up and excited, because I already accomplished so much for the morning. And that was already pre-planned the night before. So I'm excited to see what this week is going to have in store for me, because I'm just like, it's already pre-visioned. I'm going to close this deal. I'm going to close this client. I'm going to get new clients here. I'm going to just, the momentum's already built up, because I already envisioned it. And it feels so good, because I already knocked down so much dominoes before I even started my work day, right? So I hope this video helps you guys to build up some momentums for yourself. You guys, try it out, the things that I'm talking about. Leave a comment, share it to anybody else out there that that wants to learn how to get a little bit excited before they start their week, or build momentum. And these little small tips can help so many people in so many different ways, who are trying to get up early, or trying to work out every day, or it builds momentums in all areas inside of your life. The tips that I shared with you guys, just pre-planning, envisioning, it helps a lot. So hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Thanks so much for watching. You guys go check out my Instagram page. It's Toronto_Tracy_Gobin. And I always say in all my videos, each one teach one, share the love, share the knowledge. So whatever tips that I shared with you guys, that you guys know somebody out there that can benefit from, you know, these tips that I shared, please, please, please share the video, you guys, or share just the knowledge that you learned from this video with them. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. See you guys again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Bye.